Jake Bustos is a global HR leader with over a decade of experience in employer branding, early career and talent strategy across Europe, Asia and the Middle East. Based in London, he leads the Employer Brand and Early Career Center of Excellence for Coca-Cola Company in Europe, driving strategies to attract, develop and retain next generation talent. Jake, what are the biggest misconceptions you hear about Gen Z in the workplace?
So I think among the biggest misconceptions are Gen Z being rebellious, they're not as driven, and also that they lack resilience. It's funny because they are also called as the unbothered generation, like they couldn't care less. But if you think about it, every generation has stereotypes. 10, 15 years ago, with the rise of millennials, I'm a millennial, we were labeled as entitled, high maintenance. But if you think about it, there are reasons why. Gen Zers went through the pandemic. They're overwhelmed with a lot of information from social media. And these are traits, attributes that are not necessarily weaknesses, but these are forms of adaptations, right? So our role is to actually understand and help them overcome and change these misconceptions. So if you actually have a chat with a Gen Zer and see their lens, understand where they're coming from, you'd get to appreciate that they're purpose-driven, they're passionate, and they also want to create value for your organization.
Mm-hmm. And what do Gen Z employees expect from their leaders, and what do they not tolerate?
Mm-hmm. So the Gen Z today, they're looking for accessible leadership. They're looking for leaders who are real, human, those who are willing to listen. So it's no longer about perfection, but it's about authenticity. So what they don't tolerate today would be leaders who are rigid, those who are not accessible essentially, which is the opposite. Because these are people who would just talk to fellow senior leaders and would communicate top down. So Gen Zs don't want that. What they're looking for is not hierarchy. They're looking for partnership. They want to talk to the leaders directly, understand their perspectives, learn how they manage their busy calendars, and they want regular interaction. So I think it's good for us to think, how can we reimagine leadership culture wherein inspiring and authentic leadership is more accessible to the Gen Z today?
Mm-hmm. How do you design experiences that make them feel part of something bigger than their job?
I love that question. So for me, it's all about empowerment. We need to give Gen Z talent high responsibility projects. Mm-hmm. We need to give them high responsibilities that would help unleash their potential, right? Because when they feel that they're empowered, that when they are trusted, it motivates them to do their best and contribute more meaningfully to the organization.
Is it the contribution part very important for them?
Definitely. So they're purpose-driven. So they always look at, is my contribution meaningful? Does it deliver business impact? Is it doing good for a greater society? So these are like things that are very important for Gen Z. So when we give them high responsibility, we want to make sure that not only it challenges them, but it's also something meaningful for them.
Yeah. And what role do storytelling and social media play in shaping how Gen Z perceives employers?
So storytelling is one of the best ways to communicate your employer brand. So we're all storytellers. We all have powerful stories to share. And it's actually stories that are able to connect deeply to your intended audience. So for Gen Z, it's important for us to share personal stories of what is it like working for your company. So they don't like curated corporate statements because they can see through. For them, authenticity and real people experiences are the best ways to showcase your value propositions, your employer brand. And of course, social media plays a key role because you have to be strategic on which channels do you want to communicate your campaigns, your value propositions, where they're present at. So you want to make sure that you're in the Gen Z channels, right? Because in Bulgaria, for example, 80% of Gen Zers research company profiles on TikTok and Instagram before going to LinkedIn, before going to your company website. So we need to make sure that we're in the right place to showcase the best authentic people's stories.
Like listening to you, I believe that being on social media as employer is a must, right?
Definitely. It's where we're able to best showcase our value propositions to our target candidates, to our target audiences.
And if you could give one message to HR leaders about Gen Z, what would it be?
One message would be Gen Z is now. Like, we need to invest in Gen Zs today. People think, oh, they're the future workforce, let's invest in them later. But if you think about it, 30% of our global workforce is already Gen Z. 20% of the global population, that's like 1/4 of the global population, is Gen Z. And they're now shaping the future of work. So I think it's very important for senior leaders or for any HR practitioner to have a chat, connect with the Gen Z, and understand what are their desires, ambitions, aspirations, so that we can better understand them and we can better help equip them for the future. So I think it's very important to know that we have a critical role to play to help prepare them with the right skills, with the right capabilities for them to be future ready.
Thank you.
You're very much welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.